Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I am 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel, comes out, which is today in 85 days. I'm gonna be pre-recording like 5 videos today because, like I said, I am not here on the weekend, so I'm gonna be talking about a bunch of different topics today, which means these next videos won't be super long. They will be around 10 minutes. I did want to talk about something today that I've been thinking about when looking not only at the most recent Tears of the Kingdom trailer again, but especially also the older ones. And that's going to be the Master Sword. Obviously, I'm using the Master Sword here on this file, the normal Master Sword. I remember back when Tears of the Kingdom first was announced, under just the sequel of Breath of the Wild's name, I was curious how they would handle the Master Sword, because obviously it would be weird to have the Master Sword right at the beginning of the game, but canonically you could see that Link had the Master Sword during the first Tears of the Kingdom teaser, so I was wondering how they were going to do it, and we got our first real look at it during the announcement of Tears of the Kingdom being delayed, when Aonuma basically announced the delay of the game. It looks like the Master Sword is broken, and I'm assuming the Master Sword gets broken by what we can now see in the most recent trailer. An attack from the Malice that's presumably sealed inside Ganon. Now in the logo, you can see the broken Master Sword with kind of like an extension. It kind of looks like the Twilight from Twilight Princess building up to the full sword. I absolutely love the look of it. I really do hope that the Master Sword that we wield in Tears of the Kingdom will actually kind of be like a lightsaber to that extent. I know technically the 60 damage Master Sword is almost a lightsaber already, but I really like the look of that green Twilight energy sword. I was wondering though how this actually ends up working in the game, because it seems like we have the Master Sword right away. It seems like we might even have Fi back in that same shot where Link is wielding the Master Sword. That's broken. He is talking to some light, some mysterious light, right? And it seems to be coming out of the Master Sword, which is why people suggest that this could in fact be Fi. Obviously, that is not confirmed at this point. Let me try to get this Korok here. There's a strat that I used to do where you basically use stasis and then you jump attack. And that usually gets you beautifully into position to actually get this Korok. Otherwise, this can actually be a pain to do. So if you ever struggle with this Korok, maybe that's the trick for you. But yeah, we might even have Fi back, so maybe the Master Sword in the early game of Tears of the Kingdom is just gonna be our companion. But I was wondering what can we do with the Master Sword essentially while it's still broken? Can we use it as a weapon? Are we slowly powering it up, similar to Skyward Sword, right? In Skyward Sword you improve the sword more and more as with the more progression you do. I think that could be really cool for Tears of the Kingdom, that there's not like this point in the game where you that you reach and then suddenly the sword is restored to full power. I think it would be cool if the sword slowly but surely becomes stronger and stronger and stronger until it's eventually at its final form. And I do really hope the final form is that Twilight energy looking sword. I don't know if it's going to be called Master Sword. I would love it though. Now I do need to be careful here. One trick immediately followed by another. I've talked about this multiple times, but maybe somebody has not seen this trick to get these Korok seeds. If you ever encounter a Korok seed where you have to like match the fruit trees, usually you would pick this and then this fruit, and that can be a little bit tedious, especially for apple trees. But one thing you can do is you can just stasis the one fruit that's supposed to be in line with the other fruit. You stasis it, and then you cut down the tree. And then even though the tree is down, this will count, and it's a super easy way to essentially solve, especially those apple Korok seeds, right, where you have to match an apple tree. It should soon be time again for me, by the way, to get some food, so it's probably not a bad idea to collect some of these durians, as I'm going to be going through Faron again. But yeah, the Master Sword I think is going to obviously be extremely interesting. I don't know if Fi is going to be back and if we're going to be talking to Fi, but I think my bet is that the Master Sword maybe starts out as like a 1 damage stick type weapon that we can't really use in combat and then slowly upgrades. Maybe it would make a lot of sense, right? If our other weapons are craftables, maybe the Master Sword can slowly become better than those weapons that we can craft. Maybe it starts with 10 damage, so it's at least better than having nothing now. Maybe it goes to 20 and it gains more abilities as you go. I think that could be a very fun mechanic. Obviously, I don't even know how this is all gonna work. the only thing that makes sense to me is that we actually do repair the Master Sword with some sort of energy, because I don't know how else we would possibly I don't know how else we would possibly repair it. I mean, I guess we could like reforge it. We'll see. Also, I am a little bit lost right now, the 100% route. I am actually doing it completely from memory right now. Can still be confusing to me. Looks like I missed out on getting bullet time there. But yeah, I'm very curious to see it. I think the design of the Master Sword in the Tears of the Kingdom logo is like the coolest design for the Master Sword we've ever had. So I'm really excited for it. Also, this is a little bit of a spoiler that not even the people on my Twitch channel know yet. I'm still waiting on it right now. I actually, and some of you were really nice, by the way, about my new icon here on LimQ+, also on my main channel. From a different artist, I have commissioned a new logo. I already said this before. A Japanese artist over on Skep. And I will actually be featuring that new Master Sword Green Energy design in my logo, which should be pretty on brand for Tears of the Kingdom. Now, what I did notice as well is, I think it was, I don't know, I think it might have been in Zeltic's video. He mentioned that usually the Nintendo, the Zelda logos feature very important topics of the game very prominently. And I noticed that the Master Sword actually does not show up in the Japanese original logo of the game. It only shows up in the English version, or like the other versions, I guess. But in the Japanese version, it only shows the name of the game and the Ouroboros type snakes, dragon, Zonai circle in the back. And that's pretty much it. So I do wonder how big of a role it will play. I think my prediction is on it starts out as being essentially a useless weapon and slowly gets powered up. And maybe there is some relevance to Fi related to the sword. We haven't seen much more. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen a Master Sword wielded at all in any of the trailers. So that's going to be interesting to see how big of a role it will eventually play. Now, because this episode has also been kind of turned into a Korok tip episode, let me get you one more. This one in particular is one I know people hate. And I will give you one last tip to get this Korok. Now here, there is kind of like this triangle of metal orbs, right? It can be really frustrating to make sure that this rock does not fall down. So an easy solution, if you have issues with this Korok, is you actually stasis this rock first. Then you use Magnesis to make sure that you can't unintentionally mess up anything. And then as soon as the stasis ends, the other rock is already on there. And boom, the Korok is in your possession. I guess we got 3 little Korok tips in there as well today, while talking about the Master Sword in Tears of the Kingdom and what role it's gonna play. Let me know if you think Fi is back. What else would Link be talking to? Who else? I mean, I guess it could be Zelda, and they're like communicating through the Master Sword, kind of like a phone. That sounds kind of suspicious though. So I think there's actually a decent chance that Fi is back, since we've literally heard her make a sound from the Master Sword in the whatchamacallit. I think it was just in the DLC, right? The DLC cutscene after the Trial of the Sword. Right, we are at 68.81%. Like I said, I have 5 more videos to record today, so this is where I'm gonna call it off today, and then continue my exploration through Farron. Get a bunch of more Korok seeds. By the end of this recording session today, I should easily be at 70%. But thank you for watching today's episode, 85 days until Tears of the Kingdom. We're getting close to the next 10-day barrier. When I'm done again with the session, we will be at 70 days. So, Tears of the Kingdom soon. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow.